Listen, I got this guy sitting to the left of me, to the right of you if you're watching this. But this gentleman is, I mean, he's probably one of the best independent filmmakers that I've witnessed. And that's not just Detroit, where he was born, but I'm talking about I lived in LA. I've been around a bunch of independent filmmakers, and this guy is cold. I'm talking about poetry in motion, jazz infused, visceral art that you can feel, that comes from a real place. So I'm just honored to have this gentleman on here. He goes by the name of Zachary Cunningham, or Zach.
Yep.
What's up, Zach?
Been chilling, man. Appreciate you. Thanks.
Man.
I appreciate the intro. That's like the illest intro I done ever had.
Oh man, listen, you ain't seen nothing yet because I'm a huge fan of all of your films.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about a few of them, and I also want to talk about you growing up in Detroit, and being the son of a pastor, right?
Yeah.
I guess, what was that experience like?
It was unique. Yeah, so it's interesting. Like, I'm a first generation Detroiter. So like my peoples are from Louisville.
Wow.
Yeah, my mom and dad are from Louisville.
Yeah.
They moved up here in 83, I think. My brother was like 6 months.
Wow.
So I was born in 88. And my parents, they divorced like 2 years later. So I never really got to see my parents together.
Oh wow.
So the way it was me and my brother grew up primarily with my pops.
How old is your brother? Or how many years
brother,
older than you is he?
My brother is a year older than you.
Okay, gotcha.
So, yeah. So
so that's pretty damn old, yo.
Yeah. Well, pretty much my brother's 5 years older than me.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So in any case, it was different because, typically most cats where we grew up with their mom only. You know what I'm saying? But we grew up with our pops.
Yeah.
So like, and then we was in the church. So, but my pops never kind of like forced it on us like that. You know what I'm saying? So it was just, it was weird because our mom, she kind of lived like this affluent life out in the burbs. And then we lived in the city, and all of our homies is like,
Damn.
Them ones,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So so early on we got a chance to just see kind of like both sides of the fence. So, and I think that's what kind of like not only informs who I am today, to where like I kind of dress kind of preppy, but then at the same time, like I love the most gangster shit music.
Yeah.
Like that's just kind of how
and you
I
could
am.
blend in if you go in that environment,
absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
So what led to, because you said you guys stayed primarily with your dad. If you don't mind me asking, why was the decision for you to stay with him versus your mother primarily?
So I think the way it was told to me was that my mom was just like, hey, like we got two boys. They need their father.
Some boys in the hood type shit. I got you.
Yeah. They need their father. You know what I'm saying? And that's just kind of what it was. And my dad, because he's a pastor, it's not like a 9 to 5 kind of like job.
So he had a little more time, flexibility around the clock.
Exactly. Yeah. Whereas my mom was moving up the corporate ladder. You know what I'm saying? She's an executive, a PR executive. Like she recently just retired like 3 years ago. She's like the top. She was chief marketing officer of Ascension for a long time.
Damn.
Yeah. So my mom is like,
She that person.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so that makes sense. I mean, that took a lot of humility on your mother's part, and even foresight. You know what I'm saying? And it also speaks to their ability, your mom and your dad, to be able to work together, although they didn't end up together.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, they was always good friends. Like, so like, it wasn't like, it was never any contentious type of energy. Like, they were best friends. Like, they would we would go out to mom's and eat, you know what I'm saying? We'd go out to eat, like, you know what I'm saying? They made it as normal as possible.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? It kind of started to get weird when like some remarriages and shit happened, but like they always been like that, you know.
It got weird because of the other person was now
the other person. It wasn't on them, you know what I'm saying?
So, wow, that's pretty cool, man. And so let me ask you this: was there ever a point where you or your brother wished that, because your brother saw them together married?
Yeah.
Or I'll ask this for you: was there ever a point growing up where you were like, "Damn, I wish y'all would have stayed together"?
I mean,
because you never experienced this, so maybe not. Yeah.
I won't say I wish that they would have stayed together. I I wish I would have seen them together.
Ah,
Right? Like just
yeah.
having the experience of seeing like two people married in a
Mm-hmm.
healthy relationship.
Damn. So do you think that had an impact on you in your marriage today? I guess maybe even at the beginning when you and your,
I
because I
think
know it impacted me, but I want to hear your stance on that. Yeah.
so. I think it was more so like that's what I've always wanted. So
Mm-hmm.
I've always tried to like push for like healthy relationships.
Mm-hmm.
But I think growing up it had a big impact on me because I kind of like avoided romantic relationships. Like it was always kind of like if it wasn't never like committed or nothing like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Just because I had never seen it. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? It was either like I seen the homies and they just kind of like they in a relationship but they like fighting with their chick every day. Or, my dad is over here, he's single. My mom's over here, she's remarried to this person at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it kind
Yeah.
of was just like, okay, I don't necessarily know if that shit is for me. I don't know if it's going to lead to some bullshit.
Because you didn't see it.
Absolutely.
That was a huge impact on me. I grew up in a single parent household. My stepfather came along once I was getting ready to go off to college. So I still got a chance to see it coming home from college.
Yeah.
But I believe a kid should, one, feel the love being demonstrated from the parent to the kid, but the kid should also see love being demonstrated between both parents. That's
Absolutely.
important, really important. And even see the parents be able to resolve conflict, work through
Absolutely.
issues. So with me and my wife, we get into these disputes and stuff now, and it's like, all right, we want our kids to be able to see us work through it. And
Yeah.
it's even more important because we know that they're watching. And my son is 6, my daughter is 4, so they can tell when the energy shifts
Absolutely.
in a room, and we're like, okay, we can't be
Absolutely.
we can't be yelling at each other like we used to, prior to them coming here, because it's important for us to be able to equip them with how, to resolve conflicts, how to love each other, and so to become like a normal thing for them once they get older and get in a relationship. So for me, my wife saw that growing up.
Yeah.
I didn't, and
Yeah.
as a result, I would say I was more of the problem in the beginning. So
Yeah.
anyway, but for you, it had a different effect.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
growing up, you were just like, I don't really know if I want to pursue this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always been that way. Like if I see something like negative, I try to go opposite, right? So I again, you see kind of like these toxic relationships. So I'm like, man, I'm just gonna kind of stay to myself. My brother smoked weed, drank, all that type shit. So
Yeah.
I don't do none of that shit. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? The homies.
Polar opposite.
Yeah, that's just kind of how I've always been.
So why did you choose to stay away from that stuff, although it was around you?
I just think it's just like a personality trait. I don't think it's like any like moral thing or anything like that.
You know why I did it? Because I never drunk anything, never smoked. Anybody who
Yeah.
knows me know that. I was always the designated driver in college amongst all my
Absolutely.
boys. But the reason why I didn't is because everybody else did it.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to figure out how to stand out or how to separate myself
Mm-hmm.
from people. So I always thought it would be cool when people would be like, oh, damn, nigga, you don't drink? You the only
Yeah.
one in this motherfucker who don't,
Yeah.
or you ain't never smoked before? So for me, I that was the attraction to not doing it. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I get to be different. And then once I got to college, I'm at the University of Michigan. I'm like, I ain't about to do it here,
Yeah.
because I barely done made it into this motherfucker. I ain't about to, mess up my life now. The other thing is that my dad had an addiction when he was younger, and I always thought that it could be somewhat like passed down, and I was just too afraid of, and
Well, some studies say that it is passed down. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's legit because it seems like it studies on every fucking thing every day. You can pretty much prove everything with some group.
Yeah, you can.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so yeah. But nah, I think I never like really thought about it too much. It was just like I wasn't interested in it. Like I wasn't interested in smoking weed. I wasn't interested in drinking. And I think it might come from a standpoint I don't like being out of control of like anything with my body.
So that's the upside. You know what the downside is though?
Yeah.
Is that a lot of my friends growing up, they could hide the pain. They could
Absolutely.
escape for a minute.
Yeah.
And people like you and me, we feeling every bit.
Nah, you sticking that shit. You stuck with that
You
shit.
stuck with it, but it forces you to deal with it too.
Hell
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Or deal with it in a more productive way versus saying I'm gonna just kind of, I'm gonna just use this substance to mask my issues for the moment, right? So
I guess. I mean, I've gotten better at it over time. You know, I was a whiner as a kid because I was the baby, like, you know, like, so that's just kind of how it was. So, but now I'm like, nah, like we got to get to it no matter what.
Yeah. I see that, man. One thing about you, I don't know anybody else that has a greater love for their crew and the people that they work with. You pump everybody up, and it's not like this, I'm over you guys. It's more like we're all integral to the process.
Absolutely.
And we're equally as important. And I love seeing how you promote misFitted. Am I pronouncing that right?
misFitted.
And who is that comprised of?
So misFitted is myself, Charles Kennedy, you know, DP director, Latoya Coates, the person who actually got me into like filmmaking.
Okay. Yeah, I think we did a live one time and she was on it. Okay.
She hopped on it. And then, of course, my wife, Don Snipes, my homegirl, Rakenya Roberson. She's a publicist. We grew up together. My cousin, Matthew Crouch, who does all the scoring. So, yeah, it's
family, man.
Yeah, it's the family.
Damn, he does the scoring. Who? What's the name of the dude who do the scoring?
Matthew Crouch. He's done scoring on every one of my films.
Matthew Crouch is a beast.
Yeah,
he's a beast, man.
Yeah, he's only like 27, 28 years old.
That's it?
Yeah.
God. So how does it work when y'all doing a film? Do you tell them like, hey, I kind of want to go just this jazz feel? Hey, listen to some Miles Davis and you know whatever. Or does he like? Do you give him room to sort of add his own?
I give everybody room to do whatever the fuck they want to do.
So you're not that type of person like, hey, I want it like this.
Yeah, like I know what I want, but I'm just gonna give you like kind of like I'm gonna give you the framework, but I want you to create within that framework.
Yeah.
So because I feel like film is like a bunch of different crafts coming together. So you got like screenwriting, you got photography, you got ecstyling, you got music, you got all of these different things. So I feel like if people are bringing their uniqueness, their eccentricities to the art, then we're going to make the most unique project that we can make. And that's what I'm always striving to do. I'm not really trying to make something that fits somewhere. That's misfitted. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
You know what I mean? I'm not really
That's
trying
dope,
to,
man. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to make it what it's supposed to be. So when you watch that shit, it might not be the most popular thing, but it's going to stick with you. It's going to stick to your ribs.
Because you know you can't get it from nowhere else.
Nowhere else. And then that's value, you know, value, scarcity. You know what I'm saying? You can't find it nowhere else.
Man, okay. So this brings me to my next, well, I was going to probably ask this question way down the line, but we here now. I was watching something on Netflix with Dave Chappelle, where he went back to his alma mater, which was Duke Ellington. I think it's a school he attended
in D.C.
Did you see it?
I haven't, bro. My wife started watching it yesterday, but I ain't watched it yet. I ain't watched it yet. I love Dave though.
Yeah, so he was talking about how he was in Panama City, Panama one time. He was at this hotel, and he saw a painting in the lobby, and you know, it was like a portrait. It was a black background, but it was Abraham Lincoln, and it wasn't made by paint. It was like comprised of pennies. A person took all these pennies and made a portrait of Abraham Lincoln. So he asked the guy who was in the hotel, he said, hey man, how much do you think this is worth? And then the guy was like, about $600,000. And he was like, man, it's only about $300 worth of pennies. You know what I'm saying? At that moment, he understood the value of art, right? And it's like, when you think about art, when you think about valuable art, wars, so many heinous acts, so many crimes have been funded through the theft of valuable art. Absolutely. Right? So art is a commodity. Absolutely. But what he said is that the artist should never behave as a commodity. And then he acknowledged how tough of a conundrum that would be, right? Because it's easy to be driven by money, but you never want to get to the point to where money influences how you behave as an artist. Yeah. And that's why he kind of walked away from the Chappelle Show years ago. Yeah. So what do you think about that? Is that a challenge for you? Because
no, it's not a challenge for me. I've always been this way, bro. Like I've always been okay with just being who I am. Like it's like the script, like what God has for me is for me. I'm not like super like religious like that, but like I'm Christian, preacher's kid, you know what I'm saying? But like I live by that. What God has for me is for me. I don't want what you got. I don't need to be the most popular. I just want the things that are going to come for me from my work to come.
So how has there been times where you basically had to say, nope, I'm not doing this project because, or I feel like you're gonna try to control what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
had to send an email this morning to a person to walk away from a project.
a paid gig.
A paid gig, because he tried to get busy on us, and I'm not putting my people out there like that. I don't care.
Yeah.
You're never going to get me to like, it's not enough money to like, I will walk, like I will walk away from anything, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because that does something to the art when you do behave, when the artist behaves as a commodity.
I'll give you an example. This has nothing to do with art. So I went to Birmingham Groves High School.
Yeah.
Not too far from here. You know what I'm saying? I played basketball. Like, I remember my junior year, I was a really good basketball player.
I saw like
You
a
know
clip
what
of you. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a really good player, right? When my junior year, the assistant coach from University of Detroit comes to our practice to come watch me. You know what I'm saying? We do like a vertical test, whatever. The next week, I get a letter in the mail. Hey, Zach, we love you. We want to see you play more. A month later, a week before the season, I quit.
What? Why?
I just was on like some knowledge of self shit. Like when teaching Chuck, like when he was talking about
being a part of the whole
getting
Black
all those
liberation
books and all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was like I don't love this. I'm good at it, but I don't love it. And I went to my parents, and of course, I'm the dude from the East Side. Everybody knows me for basketball. I don't want to do it no more.
Damn.
That's how I've always been. Like this is like shortly after a University of Detroit,
So where did that integrity come from? Would you say it came from both parents?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely I got that from both parents for sure.
Okay, so the school you went to, the high school, what was the name of it?
Birmingham Groves.
Okay, did you end up going to college after that?
Yeah, I went to Hampton.
You went to Hampton, right? Because you met Javicia.
Yeah, I met Javicia at Hampton, but I didn't finish. I'm college dropout.
Okay, what made you? Well, obviously you could have finished if you wanted to. So what made you drop out, or what? Why did you come to that decision to do it?
To drop out?
Yeah.
I mean, it really wasn't a decision. It just wasn't. I've never been into school like that. You know what I'm saying?
But it was more of this thing where like I gotta at least see what it's like, and then once you got there, you like, this ain't me.
Yeah, like absolutely. Like it was just like priorities. I mean, at the end of the day, like I'll probably end up finishing one day. You know what I'm saying? But like I think it was a path that I just had to kind of like figure out for myself.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? And my mom was pissed at me for a long fucking time.
For real?
Hell yeah, because they was paying out of pocket at Hampton. Like I ain't had no scholarship and no shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My mom was pissed at me, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? But even when I got the 40 under 40 thing from Michigan Chronicle like 2 weeks ago, my mom, she was there and she looking at me, tears in her eyes, and like, I'm really proud. Because like she seen it. She seen it from like her being upset with me and like kind of like, because I was like, to a degree, like I was the chosen one, right? Because my brother was like older than me. He did all the fuck shit that niggas do, on the east side. But I was always the quiet, polite, yes ma'am, no ma'am.
Yeah.
Like
brother was kind of like the scapegoat. I got you.
Yeah, so he was like we always say he's like the black sheep. At least growing up, I was the like kind of quote unquote good one. I mean, we know that don't really exist.
No, but I get you. Yeah.
So like when I dropped out,
when you deviated from like the traditional path, the sky was falling. It's like, bro, this our last kid right here. You know what I'm saying?
The sky was falling.
Yeah.
And so she was mad at me forever, bro.
Do you feel like during the 40-40, and we're gonna talk about that in depth too, it was almost like your mother, it was almost like getting that validation of, or maybe you had got it long before, but because for her, she didn't know why you left.
Yeah.
And even if she knew why, I don't know if this reason is the right justification for it, right? And then all of a sudden you start succeeding as a filmmaker, and she's like, wait, I get it. So it kind of atones for that. Yeah. For that moment where you guys were at odds, right? A bit, because she understood maybe your vision.
Yeah, I always tell people when I talk about film, I say filmmaking redeemed me. You know what I mean? Like I was lazy. I ain't do shit. I would sleep all day, playing the game all day. But filmmaking is the first thing that I wasn't good at when I started, and it forced me to work hard.
Lit a
It's
fire
the
under
first
you.
time you understand. Like I'm the baby, and I grew up middle class on the fucking east side. You know what I'm saying? Like so, like all of my homies is like from the trenches. We didn't grow up like that. You know what I'm saying? So like I had shit. I could like if I ain't have bread or something, I could go to my pops like, hey pops, can I go get this video game or whatever. I ain't grow up with like J's. They didn't give us everything. Like my mom didn't buy us no Jordans and no shit like that. So I had stuff. So like even with basketball, like I was athletic, so I didn't have to work as hard. You get what I'm saying? But when I got into film, I didn't know shit.
So when you got into film before that, you, and I might get this wrong, so correct me. Weren't like I think you were writing poetry.
That's
right.
what I did. I got into film via poetry.
Word, damn.
Yeah,
So
I was doing poetry. I was doing all the spoken word and open mics and shit like that. And that's where I met my homegirl Latoya. Well, I know Latoya my whole life.
Yeah.
But like I had went to her grandma's crib over on Navajo. We was just over there chilling because chilling, doing nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? She popped in and she had a camera and she was taking pictures, and I was like, oh, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? And so I got this idea. I was like, man, I had these 3 poems called Detroit, and I was like, hey, like, you think we could do like a documentary on these poems, like based on these poems about Detroit?
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah. And so it sent us on the crash course to like eventually making my first film, which was like this kind of like art poetry film type shit.
So when you, of course, you still had this film.
Yeah.
When you look back at it now, what are some of the mistakes that you made the first time around?
Everything.
Right.
I mean, I didn't know shit.
Right.
So I mean, I was just
You was just doing something.
Yeah, we were just creating. It was like raw, like you know what I'm saying?
And I often tell people too, like some people think inactivity is better than just doing something.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know what you aiming at specifically, just do something and you'll land. Eventually, you'll land where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, and that
so it took a lot of courage to even do that, right?
Yeah. That lit a fire under me. And I remember we released it, and my mom called me. I was working at Rehab Institute of Michigan at that time. My mom called me. We released it. This is 2011. So like, if you got like over 1,500 views on a video, that was like big deal.
You was doing something.
Yeah, you was doing something, and we did it. And we got like over 1,500 views and all this shit. And my mom called me. She was like, now mind you, she's still mad at me. But she's like, keep going.
Damn.
She's like, keep going. And then my mom.
It's so crazy that she was honest with you, because she would have told you if it was trash.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going. Then your mom.
She was like, and she schooled me. She told me a story about how, Spike made She's Gotta Have It, and his grandmother funded She's Gotta Have It. And
you think she already knew this, or did she research this because
she knew it?
Damn.
My mom's like, so that's another thing. My mom's a corporate person. She's an artist.
Because she's marketing.
But my mom's a classically trained pianist.
What?
She wanted to be an actor growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a classically trained pianist. She actually went to school for music at first.
Okay. Well, wait. So when she was at Ascension, you said what was her job again? It was
chief marketing officer.
Chief marketing, but she also was a classically trained pianist.
Yes.
Like on some Jamie Foxx.
Yes.
Godly.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. She's like gifted. My mom's like incredible.
So she understood when you started going in that direction, she could relate to
Yeah,
it.
she got it. She got it immediately. She was just like, keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
So you've done some music videos before, right? And I seen a couple of them. I seen one. I can't remember what you're gonna have to help me out with this. But it's on the misFitted website. I actually saw 2 of them. One came out like last year that I thought was dope.
The JR joint?
That one.
Broken Easel?
Yeah, but just, the lyrics was
phenomenal.
phenomenal.
Oh, no, he's incredible. Like,
yeah.
He's ridiculous. He's from North Carolina.
He's from North Carolina. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I saw another video that you shot maybe a few years prior to that, or maybe a year prior, but it was with another dude who was spitting. It looked like it was in like some type of warehouse. It was shot in some type of I can't remember, right?
Oh,
But
that's probably the JR joint.
that's the JR joint. The other one was with another actor who and I thought he was a part of misFitted too, but he's another actor out here who June knows. I think
Greg.
they were Greg, right?
Greg.
Okay.
I don't know which one it is. Oh, you talking about The Devil's Lasso?
There we go. The
black and white joint.
Yeah.
Yeah, where we shot that at my mom's crib. Like that was actually just a camera test, to be honest.
Straight up.
That's all that was. But I make beats now, so I just put the beat to it.
So that was your beat.
Yeah, that was my beat.
Okay. So you you shot music videos before. Is there a requirement where you actually have to like the song?
Yeah.
Right? Because that's another instance where you like, I can't
Yeah.
compromise my artistic integrity. So do you have to like the song before?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It can't be no trash, right?
Yeah, I don't even like music videos, so it's kind of just like I don't like doing them for it's got to be like a synergy there.
Why don't you like doing music videos?
Because they usually don't pay enough, and you're usually under resourced.
Damn.
Yeah, so
I got you. If they don't pay enough, you won't be able to get the adequate resources.
Yeah, and then rappers try to do this shit nowadays where they put their name on it as director and shit like that. I don't like that shit. Yeah.
So it's like if I'm already underpaid.
Yeah.
And now I'm not getting the credit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what's the incentive? I got you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you get to this one film, which I thought was phenomenal, bro. And I encourage everybody out there to go to misFitted.com. I think that's the website.
Yeah, misFitted with a hyphen in between.
misFitted with the hyphen in between.
Yeah.
And I think it's called Little Church.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Got a great young actor in it. Evan Franklin, right? Also, another lady who played his mother that you work with a lot.
Debbie.
Deborah. What's her last name?
Deborah Lane Spencer.
Okay, shout out to her too, right? And this film was shot so beautifully, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, just the framing, just the way you allow actors to act. You never have too many words. It's just enough. Mm-hmm. And you're able to tell a story without, depending on the words too much. Mm-hmm. And then of course I was shocked by the end because it was like on some Sixth Sense type stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And I just thought it was such a dope film, but it was about a little boy who grew up in the church because his father was a pastor, and he felt the pressure of having to be the next one,
absolutely,
so to speak. Although it might have not had necessarily aligned with what he wanted to do.
Absolutely.
So was that? I know that had to come from a real place. And was there a point where you felt like, dang, am I expected to kind of take over or carry on the tradition?
I mean, I never felt the pressure, but like we got family members who still to this day who believe that I'm gonna be a preacher. Like they'll argue with my mama.
Like he got it.
Yeah, like I got an aunt who will argue every time she talked to my mom. She like, Zach is gonna.
It's the crazy thing is that I think you are already, but you just doing
absolutely.
it.
And that's why I told my pops. I was like, hey, I'm already. This is my ministry.
That's your ministry.
So that's why the shot where the little girl's in the background, it stays out of focus. That's why it stays out of focus, because that's just what you hear as a kid. You just hear that constantly, like, oh, he next. You know what I'm saying? That's why I started to stay out of focus, because you don't really need to see her. You know what I'm saying? All you need to do is hear what she's saying. You know
Damn, and that was the shot when his father had got up, walked off, and it was like right here. And you could see the little girl. Oh, man, that was framed so godly. Yeah. You could hear what she was saying. Yeah. Whoa.
Peace to Jeremy Brockman. Jeremy Brockman was the DP on that. That's my brother. Yeah, he's incredible. He's shooting my next feature too. So
Wow. Okay, so when you did that film, what did everybody say? Because I'm sure their jaws just dropped. Like, yo, this dude is...
My mom gave me $10,000 to make that film.
Word?
Yeah. My mom gave me $10,000 to make that film. Me and Jeremy had just did a film called You Better Run prior to that for like $200. And so I created a pitch deck for Little Church, and I went to my mom and I was like, hey, I got this pitch deck. I want to reach out to all the affluent people that I know and ask them to offer $500 a piece.
Yeah.
And so... in my mom's way, my mom is a very interesting person. She says, well...
Shout out to Zach moms, too.
Janice Cosby. Janice Cosby Adams. But she says to me, well, I don't want them to take credit for you, so I'll just give you the money.
Whoa.
So when the ego goes right.
Yeah. But I love it because you got so many people that's begging for a seat at the table, and she like, no, we gonna build our own.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Little Church changed my life. It changed everything that I have now. You probably don't know me without Little Church, just being honest.
Well, do you think that was the moment where you pretty much arrived as a filmmaker?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it was like one of them. It was the joint where it was like, oh, nah, this motherfucker's serious.
That film is
and we
incredible.
knew it. We knew it. Like, we knew, but that was the goal of the film.
While y'all were filming it, y'all like, oh, yeah, we got something.
Yeah, it's the same goal with Little Feat. Like, it's like, that's the goal. Like, it's like, so Little Feat is like, kind of like our step up in the feature realm. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like Little Church. But yeah, I don't want to,
So hold on. I love that you already there though, because
I just be talking.
So the film that you did prior to Little Church, right? And I think it was prior. Was it Right On?
No, we did Right On after Little Church.
That was after. Okay, so you did Right On, but you guys shot that in a special that didn't look like no digital.
No, that was film. We shot that on film.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, we shot that on Super 16 millimeter film.
What were the challenges involved with shooting on 16 millimeter film?
Everything. I mean, monitoring. I mean, just the amount of film. Like, I mean, we had like 6 rolls of film. So like, I think that's essentially, we had like an hour worth of footage.
Damn.
So like, you don't roll, like, so you don't, you know how like in film, you can just roll camera, like how we rolling right now.
Yeah.
And that, you got to rehearse, and then you roll camera.
You got to be on point too.
And you got to know how the film cuts.
Yeah.
So you got to like.
How much preparation was involved before shooting that?
I mean, it was everything. Like we had to do everything from production designer to like, we took test rolls, we did screen tests, all that shit. From the clothes you pick, because we were shooting black and white. So like, just say if like this blue might show up differently in black and white, so we had to test to see, you know, how shit showed up.
A very meticulous process, pretty much. Yes, bro.
And we crowdfunded for it. We raised on Season Spark, we raised like $13,000 for it.
So without Little Church, you're not getting that $13,000 for that.
Absolutely, because Little Church did like 15 festivals and won at a bunch of festivals too.
Damn. And were people shocked? I'm talking about like festivals, because I'm sure it wasn't just like no Michigan, Detroit festivals.
Nah.
So people like, wait, this is a Detroit filmmaker?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
we went to the Bronze Lens Film Festival.
That's a big one.
Yeah, it's a big one. Oscar qualified.
Is that in Atlanta?
Yep.
God.
Yep. Brian Smiley. That's how Brian Smiley, who is like a mentor of mine, he's president of Heartbeat.
Yeah, Brian Smiley is my guy, Marcus's real close friend or whatever. He actually produced Marcus's first movie, which is called Junior. So when I was living out in California, Brian Smiley, he was roommates to this guy named Razat. I used to see him all the time, and I knew he was different because of how he carried himself. But literally, he just started taking off. He went from Sony, and I think he's now at Heartbeat. Golly.
So quick thing, Brian, my mom and his dad grew up together.
Sheesh.
Right down the street from each other.
Well, wait, Brian, where is Brian from? Is he
from here?
He from here?
But way his pops must have moved up here the same way my mom moved up here.
Yeah.
So I still got the voicemail on my phone the day before a Little Church premiere. He's hitting me up like, hey, like, I'm, friend of your mom's, boom, boom, boom. I'm coming to the premiere, whatever. Because he had a connection with Lazar and Marshall too from Trinity. You know what I'm saying? So. And I remember after the movie was over, it was like standing ovation, standing room only. Because, the ending is like kind of shocking. Everybody's crying in the theater. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't see it coming.
So he comes.
I had to go back and look at it. I'm like, hold on, wait. Did they know he was there?
And then
was the mother talking
it's all the nuances. It's all intentional. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he comes up to me. He like, I didn't know they was making shit in Detroit like that. That's what he told me straight up. Like,
President, wait, what is he of Heartbeat Productions?
I think he
type of president, some type of VP, right?
I think he's VP.
This guy, I mean, he's the guy that's in the room when they doing deals with Netflix.
Yeah.
And he gave Zach the stamp of approval, which goes to show you how great of a filmmaker he is. And this is no disrespect to any Detroit filmmaker, but there's a difference. And other Detroit filmmakers, I've seen a lot of them, they might make stuff that looks kind of lush, cool scenes, this, that, and the third. But when you talk about storytelling, when you talk about, like, you could be a filmmaker, but this guy right here he's an artist. And being just a filmmaker is one thing, but when you're a filmmaker and an artist, it's totally different. And he's really fucking good at, excuse my language, he's extremely fucking good at what he does, man. So it's no disrespect to no other Detroit filmmakers, but I'm not shocked that you got that stamp of approval from Brian.
No, that's my guy, man. Like, so every major move I make, I run it past Brian now.
Man, this dude right here got people like that on speed dial.
Yeah, every major move I make. Well, it ain't speed dial, Brian. He take you. I'll hit up Brian, but hey, bro, I want to run something by you. He'll hit me back 2 weeks later, like.
But
all
shit,
right,
it's
cool.
still 2 weeks later though.
Yeah, and then he'll be. I mean, he's cool. He'll be like, hey, man, whatever you need. You know what I'm saying? So he's just like, so that's why, like, I haven't asked him for that favor yet. Cause I wanted the one.
You want, yeah. But it's for people like that, and even including your mom.
Yeah.
Like, they get something from just being able to help a person who got it.
Absolutely.
And then they see you helping yourself, so it's easier to help somebody that's getting up and doing the work than somebody that's just saying, hey, I'm drowning, pull me out the water. No, you already swimming. I just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just need, you know, somebody to sort of give me a little push to help me get to that destination, but I'm already swimming on my own, and I think that says a lot about you. You did right on, and then you go from that, and you get this crazy ass idea, right? Well, I don't know why you tortured yourself like this, but you said, you know what? I want to do a feature film. And guess what? I want to shoot this motherfucker in 5 days. 5 days. Is that true?
So we originally supposed to shoot 10 days, but then COVID happened.
COVID happened. Okay, but you really did shoot it in 5 days.
You could say 4 because none of the footage.
This dude stunt.
No. Real talk. No cap. Like the first day we didn't use none of the footage from the first day.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So what? I need to hear about the logistics, the planning. I need to hear about everything because it's not. First off, it's hard to shoot a feature film. Anyway, then it's even harder to shoot a feature film and it be good. Yeah. Right? And cohesive. And then it's even harder to do those two things and do it in 4 days. What went
for less than 10 grand?
All right, I think we can cut this podcast episode off right now. We done. I ain't never making another film again. I'm gonna just be doing podcasting for the rest of my life. I would never
do it again.
So what happened during that time? How did y'all plan that?
So, I mean, honestly, it was me and Charles. Me and Charles were just...
Shout out to Charles.
Yeah, Charles would be at the crib. He'd just be coming through the crib every day. You know, my son is, like, super young because it's during COVID. So, Chuck was, like, the only person who could actually come to the crib, who my wife would let in the crib. And so, like, we knew we had the movie. You know what I'm saying? We knew we had the movie. I had 2 scripts. Yeah. But I picked Mood because Mood was, like, 70 pages long. The script was only 70 pages. Wow. And so, like, literally, the movie, the pre-production takes place at my crib. Me and Chuck just getting the camera, setting up shots, lighting it, and then, you know.
So what about when y'all actually figured out which location y'all were going to use? How much time did you have to prep there?
Oh, no. So like, we were supposed to shoot, and then we were supposed to shoot, like, a whole, like, almost, like, 6 months before we shot. But then COVID happened. And so we thought they were out. So we had already done pre-production there.
Oh, y'all had already done that. Damn.
So we have the whole movie kind of shot, like, in terms of, like, BTS type stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm serial preparer. I don't do none of that, like, oh, we get in there and figure it out. Nah.
Yeah, you got to know exactly how everything is going to be set up, where you're going to put the lights and all of that.
That's how it look like that.
Yeah.
That's how you get them to look like that. We can't do it without, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's not, you know, I'm going to be honest, because that's not necessarily one of my strong suits, but when you talk about cinematography, man, like, that's another way you tell your story is through lighting, because it kind of dictates or drives the mood of the characters, of the scene. Yeah. You know, it even helps the characters get in the right mood, and then people who watching it, they feel something from it, right? So it's sort of, it's important. It's an important mechanism to use to be able to tell the story and to be able to, I guess that's what I would say, right? And that's the reason why it was so important for you guys to prep in that sort of way.
In a sentimental mood, man. It actually
mood, right? So it's like it's important to create the mood from scene to scene with respect to how it's lit.
Yeah, it the movie is inspired by this Chinese film called In the Mood for Love.
Oh shit, man! Zach over here watching. No wonder why you ain't watched the Dave Chappelle thing. Yeah, you watching Chinese films, damn.
Which is like one of my favorite movies. It's a beautiful film. Has very similar ideas. And then it's also like, you remember the film Lost in Translation?
Yeah.
So Lost in Translation was inspired by In the Mood for Love.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So
you went back a few movies deep.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
I need to know what inspires this. Okay,
exactly.
bam.
Exactly. And it's
Yeah.
one of the most beautiful films ever. Like every frame is a painting.
Wow.
And so that's how I wanted Mood to feel.
That's how it feels.
Yeah.
Every single, like you could literally do a freeze frame,
Yeah.
a multiple freeze frames in
Yeah.
every single scene.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like that. Even if it's just Don Snipes, you know, putting his clothes on, getting ready in the morning. Everything is a mood. Everything is a portrait.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's even harder, bro. In 4 days?
Yeah. So, but we planned it. You know what I'm saying? We knew what we wanted to do.
No, don't be trying to make it sound that simple. Like it has something to do with the people who was behind the planning too.
Yeah. I mean, look, it was cool. It was crazy. I mean, it was a lot of drama with the movie. Like, I mean, it was crazy. Like the first day, we was a whole day behind.
Okay, and the gentleman name is wait, y'all were a whole day behind the first day?
After the first day, and
So-
we threw all the footage out. Me and Chuck had to come in there like 5, 6 in the morning the next day, and we did like 20 pages ourselves. Damn. Like me, Don, Debbie just knocked it out. Like, so all that beginning stuff where Don's on the phone and all the daytime stuff, we did all of that like on day 2.
Damn.
You know, most of the daytime stuff.
Okay, so let me ask you this. With Chuck, how do you guys complement each other? Because, and I also want to know, is there ever any time where you guys are butting heads? Like, you know, I need to know this because you guys work so well together.
Yeah. So, I mean, me and Chuck complement each other in that Chuck is like an execution guy. Like, so I'm like the idea guy. He's the execution guy.
You need
so
both.
Chuck can figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then I'm an asshole. Chuck is nice as fuck.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
Marriage.
It's good
On
cop,
set,
bad cop.
on set especially.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody loves Chuck. I'm an acquired taste.
They'd be like, oh shit, here comes Zach.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And I'm cool with that. Like, it is what it is.
Somebody got to be the bad guy.
Yeah. So like, and we have similar styles. I think we both respect each other. You know, respect each other's craft. So I mean, it's.
Y'all have similar styles, but it's a difference.
Yeah.
And because I watched some of his stuff too on misFitted.com. Y'all check out the film on there. So there is a difference, but there's also a lot of similarities. And I think having a relationship like that with somebody, I always ponder on if like Shaq and Kobe would have, God rest his soul, if they would have stayed together a little bit longer, they probably had like 7 or 8 rings or something like that, right?
They probably would have at least got 6. I think they would at least got 3 more.
Well, the fact that you and Chuck, who are both juggernauts on your own, have been able to work together for so long, it speaks to the character and humility of both of y'all.
Yeah, that's my brother. Chuck's like I even though I'm 2 years older than Chuck, like I feel like we like the same age.
Same age.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so he family, man. Like, you know, like he's Chuck is probably he's easily the first person outside of my family to meet Harper, my son.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Harper knows him as Uncle Chuck.
Yes, you keep that tight,
You know
keep
what I'm
that close.
saying?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we get into it all the time. I mean, we.
But that's a part of it.
But
though.
yeah, I mean, it's not a thing though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no.
I could easily be like, I remember one time, Chuck had Chuck did some shit. He did some shit, and I called him like, bro, like, what the fuck you do? You know what I'm saying? Like, and he like, oh, that's my bad. But it's a couple times where he working on his film, and I kind of let my emotions get the best of me, and I kind of left him on an island. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, you know, that's my bad, bro. I can't do
accountability,
that because you depending on me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that is our relationship.
That's one of my weaknesses. That was one of my weaknesses when I was doing filmmaking, is that I was so used to being a person at the helm. Mm-hmm. I was so used to being a person that was relied on, and whenever it came time for me to play my a different position, because you got to be able, I forgot who, Yo Gotti said this on the clip. He was like, I can be the general and then I can fall in line and be a soldier at any given moment. And I was so used to being a general in California, because I was at the helm of these projects, that when it came time for me to support one of the other filmmakers who wanted to do their project, it was hard for me to adjust to that. Yeah. And I don't know if that's you, but for me, that's something that I was like, oh shit. I know that was my weakness for sure. So.
It's a learning process. So I think, like, I made my first short in 2013. I'll send them to you. Like, it's called, like, my first, like, kind of like narrative short. Then I made my second short at the beginning of 2014. And I didn't really know what the fuck I was doing. I was like calling myself a director, but I wasn't really directing like that. You know what I'm saying? I knew how to make like the mood shit. Like I knew how to make a mood. You know what I mean? Like that's always been my strength as a filmmaker.
Is to create a mood,
Yeah, even before I could write good.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I tried to do my third short and it failed. It failed because of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just didn't know what the fuck I was doing. It was like an ensemble cast. Like, it was just too big.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So I took 2 years off and I just served. You know what I'm saying? I shot for other people. I worked on the other directors. I always say that's when I learned how to be a director. Because I got to see good directors be good and I got to see bad directors be bad.
That's important, yeah.
So I was able to
learn what not to do.
Learn what not to do. And I got to, like, actually see people work with actors.
Okay, so now, but you did that, and now you back to being the dude at the helm of the project.
Then I'm back.
Would you be able to fall, like, let's say, you know, Chuck did a project, and he like, hey, I need you to play this role. That'll be something that you could easily fall back into.
I'm ADing a project right now.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm ADing a project right now. I can't say what it is, but
this is like G14 classified. But just tell me when we cut these cameras off. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, no, I'm always willing to help. I can fall.
Yeah.
I mean, relationship goals. Ken's Darker Than Blue joint. I don't know if you saw it. But yeah, Ken directed that. Even though I came up with the story because that was like a story from like something I wrote like years ago. But I gave that to Ken, and Ken, we on set, he directed it. I'm just DPing for him.
At this point, would it have to be somebody that you respect, though? Because,
absolutely.
you know, like you said early on, you would, you know, play your position, work with other people, and, you know, you saw a lot of bad directors, a lot of good directors. But at this point, it's like, nah, if I'm going to play that type of position, it got to be something that I'm able to learn from.
Yeah, I treat it as an investment. Yeah. Like, if I want to invest in that person or not.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, so now we about to get to hip-hop.
Yeah.
Right, because we already know that your projects are jazz inspired, right? There's a lot of jazz influences in your stories, but
Absolutely.
what about, and also with hip hop? Because every time I look at your stories, I see you actually doing stuff on the beat machine, and you making hip hop type stuff, but it feels very like Tribe Called Quest-ish, so to speak. It's like jazzy, but it's also hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It's fused together, so to speak, right? And then I even see your son. He learning certain stuff. He playing on the piano. So what inspired you to actually just buy it? Because that's expensive equipment. You know what I'm saying? And this is something that I assume, do on your off time just to kind of keep those artistic juices flowing or whatever. But what inspired you to buy all this stuff and just start playing around?
So it's funny story. My brother raps. My older brother raps. And he was like kind of getting back into it. And he had a few beats that he was rapping to, but he was having trouble kind of finding his pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On these beats. And so really the reason why I bought a beat machine, or I actually started in GarageBand, the reason I did it was just to help him.
Damn. To serve somebody else.
Yeah,
wow.
That was it. No. That was it. And then I just fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And I'm a hip hop head. Like, so.
You are. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
going all the way back, man.
So,
So and
like,
not only that, you know the stuff that's like. So there's mainstream, there's underground. You know the shit that ain't even hit underground.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, so I love all of that shit. Like, so it was just, I'm a fan, so I've been listening to it for so long. So like once I figured out like kind of like the technical side of beat making, I think it was easy for me to fall into it because I knew what I wanted to hear.
Would you ever consider selling your beats? Well, hold on, because let me finish this, right? Because here's the dilemma with that. Once you start actually selling your shit to people, there's a chance that you lose, I won't say you lose the love, but now it becomes like labor when it's like, I just was doing this shit because I love doing it, right? But would you ever consider actually selling your stuff? Because you've been doing it for a while and your shit is kind of dope. So would you consider doing that?
I have 4 projects I'm working on with different people right now.
For real?
Yeah, but I have a requirement though.
What? It's like when you do music videos, right.
So like my requirement is that like, hey, if we work together, it has to be a full project of all my beats. So whether it's
don't just throw my stuff on there with a bunch of other
whether it's an EP, it's gonna be like maybe like a 4 or 5 track EP or something like that, and we have to make a movie to it.
Wow.
So we got one that we're working on. I'm working with a young kid his name is Hakeem, the People's Poet.
Yeah.
From the East Side, and we're doing like a Nat Turner. It's like a modern day retelling of Nat
Damn.
Turner, but like in the Belly universe, like
Whoa.
like Nat Turner, but
Belly. Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, we got the music already done. The music is done.
Damn. Okay. So I got it. So basically, the two requirements is that you got to do the whole EP or whole project, and then we got to do a film. Almost like, I think, what was the Beyonce self-titled album when she dropped the whole visual for it.
Exactly.
I got you. Okay.
So it has to be like that, because that helps misFitted, because that's more like content and stuff for us to be able to make.
Man, this dude right here got all these streams of income.
Yeah, so that's really what it is. And so like I'm working on my book, my next book.
Book?
Yeah, because I released a book in the pandemic.
Man, y'all listen. Yeah. Right, okay, I remember. It was like poetry, right?
Yeah, the quarantine handbook.
Yeah.
It was like all black and white photos that I took on film, and I was documenting my thoughts every day.
Where could that be purchased? Could it be purchased?
It's on my website, ZacharyCunningham.com.
ZacharyCunningham.com. If you want to see his short film projects, if you want to see Little Church, if you want to see Right On, that's on misFitted.com. And if you want to see In a Sentimental Mood, which is his latest project, and it's a full feature-length film, you can check that out on Tubi.
Yep.
All right. So, okay. So you wrote one book, right? You released it during the pandemic, right? Because, I mean, shit, it wasn't really nothing else to do, right?
Yeah, and it sold out in like 36 hours. I just did it off the muscle.
All right, that's it. Listen, y'all, we done with this interview. You sold out in what? In 36 hours?
36 hours. We just did, me and my wife would take these walks, like during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Because the kid was tiny and shit like that, so we wanted to get outside. And so I had a little film camera, and I would just be taking photos, and I would develop the photos myself, because like developing costs is like crazy.
Yeah.
And I was documenting my thoughts, so I just made the book in like pages on my iMac, got them pressed up. My wife actually paid for it to get them pressed up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we did like a little run of books, and they sold out in 36 hours. I mean, you can still get more. I got more, but yeah, the original run, like, it was quick as fuck.
All right, I got 3 questions left, y'all. I know y'all wish I had about 10 more, but this man time is money, so
I'm chilling.
So I'm gonna ask these questions. Let's get into something a little more serious, right? Which this is the thing that.
So before Dave getting anything. Now, me and Dave, like, our relationship is based on our philosophical debates. Like, so just FYI. I love Dave because we can disagree. And that's, it's fun because Dave is like,
and we can come at each other on social media, too. Not in a way where it's like you wrong.
Exactly.
But we give each other something to think about.
Yeah, we literally discuss it. Like, we literally discuss it. But go ahead, though. Because I know you're about to go somewhere crazy.
Well, no, I mean, I'll just say your views are more...
independent.
More independent.
Yeah, like, I'm not really on either side.
You're not on either side. Sometimes I can appear to be on the right?
Yeah.
But the whole reason why I do that is because I get so much flack from the left, and I'm always trying to at least get people to realize that, hey, I don't know everything, but you don't either.
Yeah, Dave's an antagonist. Yeah, he's gonna antagonist. Dave,
like, I'm just trolling people or something like that. Yeah, I do. I don't do it as much anymore because I had a few people come to me and tell me that some of the things that I said was hurtful, And I get it. You can't listen. In order to, you have to risk being offensive in order to tell the truth. But I'm always figuring out how to, make sure I have the right delivery, how to try to keep as balanced of an approach as possible. And it's good to have friends like that who are going to hold you accountable, even if I don't think they're right. You know what I'm saying? It still gives me something to think about. And one thing about you is that you're not that person. You're the person that's like, I ain't offended by nothing you say, but we can go back and forth.
Yeah.
And we can try to learn from each other, have a better understanding, and still stay where we were on the side of the fence that we were at in the beginning of the conversation. Not like we try to convert. We're not proselytizing to each other or trying to convert each other. It's just that we're going back and forth and trying to understand and learn about each other more.
No, I told somebody the other day. I mentioned you to somebody. I was like,
shit. If I got a mention from Zach, you know I'm doing shit.
I've always heard. You always hear people say, be the change you want to see. But in our conversations, in terms of like the context of how you use that phrase, like, you gave me a whole new context.
Damn.
For that phrase, because of what we're talking about. Because a lot of times we talk about manhood, accountability, shit like that. Family, doing what you got to do, all of that type of stuff. So like you never really think about that term, be the change you want to see in the terms of your own accountability.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We always talk about it in terms of like from like a civil rights standpoint or like like some social shit. You know what I'm saying? Which again, I'm all for that shit, whatever. But like just kind of as a 34-year-old, I'm more so like, it's all about accountability for me now.
Yeah.
And so like you gave me like the context that I needed. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always listening to older cats anyway, because y'all live longer. You know what I'm saying? You done seen more, you know what I'm saying? You done been through some shit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm always gonna try and get that wisdom. But yeah, like I've heard that phrase for a large majority of my life. But the way in which you kind of broke it down, it's like, okay, now that phrase means so much more. You know
Damn. The crazy thing is this, man. When I'm talking to you, I already think you're smarter than me. I wouldn't be wasting my time talking to you if I didn't. Right? So I'm thinking that in my mind. I'm like, this person, I mean, I talk to people who I don't think is smarter than me, but I'm just saying, I spend a lot of time talking to you, right? We'll have long conversations.
Absolutely.
And so I'm really doing it to remind myself because I'm fallible and I have my weak moments. Absolutely. So it's cool to hear that like a byproduct of me trying to sort of explore ideas and test out my own thoughts. A byproduct of that is you possibly getting something from it. That's never the main intention, because I'm like, maybe I'll learn something that I didn't know before, or I'll remind myself of why I need to stay the course. So, man, I appreciate those words, man, for real.
For sure.
All right, here we go.
Go ahead.
Man, you did a video where you were vulnerable.
Yeah.
Extremely vulnerable.
Absolutely.
And you even shed some tears. And these wasn't them type of, these was these tears where you had to fight you have to fight to try to stop them from coming out.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like you didn't plan for these tears to come out, and you were talking about a time where you had a panic attack. And it was in a gas station. And I'm assuming that was the first panic attack that you had ever had.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna die. I thought I was like having a heart attack or a stroke or some shit. I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Man, can you kind of walk us through that?
Yeah. So, okay. So let me take my time with it. So actually, it's crazy. So, you know Honoree, right?
No.
Honoree Franklin?
No.
Dang, y'all had to have went to cast at the same time.
Probably.
Yeah, he an actor though. Okay.
No, I know you. I think I know you talking. Is it the guy's the kid's father?
Yeah,
He went to cast. Yeah.
So his Evan, his son, and Evan's brother was over my crib because I would teach him how to edit. So they had just left, and I had how can I explain it? They had just left, and I told my wife, I'm like, hey, I'm about to go get some food from Tropical Smoothie. You know what I'm saying? And I get in the car, I'm driving, and I'm on the phone with Chuck at the time, and like I don't know, like my chest started getting tight, like I feel like I couldn't breathe, and so I'm like, Chuck, let me call you back. I go into the gas station, I purchase like some Skittles or some shit like that, and I just feel like I'm about to pass out. So like I'm trying to go through with the order, but I can't even take my card out the machine. You know what I'm saying? And so I pull out my phone and I dial my wife. I hand it to the
clerk.
Yeah, the clerk, and I'm like, hey, my name is Zachary Cunningham. I'm calling my wife right now. I need you to tell her that something is happening to me, but I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to walk around because when I walk, I don't feel like I'm going to pass out. Every time I stop, I feel like I'm going to pass out. So, long story short, I walked around the thing for maybe 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? My wife had to hop out the bed. She put Harper's probably like 1.5 at the time or some shit like that. I'm right down the street from my crib. She walked, because we only had one car at the time. She walked from our crib to the gas station to come get me with Harper. Wow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it was like
with the baby?
With the fucking baby. Like think about like the way the sunken place looks in Get Out.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. Like it was like
everything was closing in.
Yeah. It was like this. And it was like I didn't have control over my extremities, no nothing.
So did you pass out completely at any point?
I didn't.
So you remember everything.
Oh shit. Yeah, I was on the phone. I was on the phone with my mom. Like Kel ended up calling my mom and my brother on three-way.
Shit.
And so they were talking to me. You know what I'm saying?
And you heard these voices and they kind of pulled you back.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you to this day know what caused it or have any idea?
I think it was just stress. I think it was stress because I was in post-on mood. My pops had just had like a major kind of like health catastrophe. He was in the hospital. Like he almost died.
Gotta do it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the same thing happened earlier this year when I had my dad had a heart attack. Yeah, my pops had a heart attack earlier this year, or like late last year. And I was kind of feeling kind of panicky. You know what I'm saying? But I know how to deal with it now. I'll say this: even sitting here right now, I feel panicky to a degree. You probably don't know this, but yeah, it's just
how did you learn how to manage that?
Well, as I told my mom, I was like, if I knew I wasn't gonna die, I probably would have been able to handle it better. Now I know I'm not gonna die. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, okay, you just kind of learn to cope.
That's a message right there, because it's almost like, I mean, damn, that's the whole purpose of adversity, right? Because if you go through something so bad, like what you went through in that gas station where you were alone, you didn't know what was gonna happen.
No,
everything else after that is like, okay.
And all I cared about was my family. Like I was like making sure my mom was good, making sure Kel was good. When Kel came up, she walked up. I remember when she came up, I immediately like came down.
Wow.
Like the moment I saw her.
That's the effect your wife had.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was like the moment I saw her, because it almost felt like a dream, bro. You know, like in a dream where shit is like moving slow and shit.
But see, most people, when they go through something like that, I hate it, man, but it causes them to, they become paralyzed by the fear, and they don't want to do anything. They don't want to go out of fear that might happen again somewhere else. But with you was like, nope, this is something scary, but I'm going towards it, right? Because that's how you want to live your life. You don't want to deprive yourself of certain opportunities as a result of allowing that fear to inhibit you. But you said, all right, I'm going to go face it voluntarily. I'll show you something real quick. So that's why I compliment your headphones. So I take my headphones with me everywhere. I let everybody see me with my headphones. I always put on my headphones because they help. They help kind of like with my anxiety. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So that's why when I put on the headphones, it was like, oh shit, these are nice, because they kind of just bring you down to a degree. But the fact that you still doing what you're doing, because a lot of people, it stops them.
Yeah, oh nah, man. Like, it is what it is. It's kind of just like one of those things to where it's like I learned, I did a lot of research, whatever. I even tried to take something. That shit just not for me. Yeah, like that shit was crazy.
And that was worse, bro. Damn near worse than anxiety.
It was like nah, that panic shit ain't nothing compared to like taking something for. I took one pill and it was like a test thing, like where a doctor had. I was just like, man, doc, you gotta do something. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But you were going and trying to, you went to see a doctor, trying to figure out how to exhausted all your options.
Yeah, exactly.
So what was it about? And you said Kel's?
Yeah, her name is Kelly, but I call her Kel.
Shout out to Kelly. What was it about her? Because I mean, clearly, I'm sure you was that dude growing up. You know what I'm saying? You a jazzy kind of dude. You know how to set the mood in film. So I'm sure it translates in real life. What was it about her that captivated you? What was it about her that said, man, you know what? I'm hanging all of this up. I'm going to give this a shot right here. This my life partner. This is the one I want to spend the rest of my life with. What was it about her?
I mean, it was the conversation. It was easy. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't hard. It wasn't no bullshit attached to it. I mean, and she's beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, she's a beautiful woman. Yeah.
It was just like the energy is, I don't know, it's like almost like a spiritual connection. I always tell her, like, after our first conversation, I knew I was going to marry her.
Damn.
Yeah.
You knew that soon.
I knew I was going to marry her after our first conversation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, so let me ask you, and then there's another film, I think it's on misFitted.com.
The Inheritance.
The Inheritance. It's him, it's his lovely wife, and it's his son all in it. And that's very, like, every frame of that is a portrait as well.
Yeah. And me and Chuck filmed that in the crib in like 4 hours. That was like for darker than
with a kid, with a baby.
Yeah, with
at that
baby.
Time. That ain't easy.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, so how has fatherhood changed you?
I would say so. I don't. so I think it's both marriage and fatherhood, because I feel like,
Let's talk about, because they go hand in hand.
yeah, because I feel like marriage is like step one, and then fatherhood is like step
I
two.
agree.
You know what
agree.
I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's really like it. I think patience. It's made me just more patient, because I deal with two Aries. That Harper has the same birthday as Kelly.
Yeah.
And they're very fiery.
Yeah.
I'm the sturdy
Yeah.
Taurus. I'm the sturdy Taurus. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't really believe in all that shit, but they do. But like, I mean, if you look at them, though, they do have all the Aries
same
qualities.
No, my
yeah.
girl Detroit Red is big on that.
Yeah.
And I wasn't a strong believer either until she started telling me some stuff. I'm like, damn. Yeah.
Like, so, you know, so like, I think patience, empathy, understanding, I think it's just made me enhanced all of those things.
Because you be with you know, some dads, they be out working the whole, you be with your kid.
Bro, he was on mood set.
Yeah.
He was there every day.
God. So he's seeing it.
Yeah, he was 1 year old.
He's seeing hard work. He's seeing how his dad moving, and that's gonna have a big impact on him as he get older.
Don is his godfather.
Wow.
You know, like, so that's, you know, he's seeing it.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right.
So marriage and being a father, it's definitely made me more patient, made me more understanding. You know, I just try to get better every day. And I would just say, like, made me more accountable. You know what I'm saying? Because I think sometimes as men, we can kind of try to wait for things to happen, or we think that the world is kind of going to give us credit for shit. You know what I'm saying? But, like, it's not really about that. You just kind of got to do what you got to do. And I think, like, creating a space, you know, for, I don't know, like creating a space for yourself, and like kind of like stepping into that, like, kind of head of household role is like,
yeah,
it's just,
you can't. Yeah, it's like you can't necessarily call yourself a. Like, I didn't even know. How can I put this? I didn't know I was a man.
Yeah.
Until I was actually living with my wife, Bridget.
Exactly.
Because she was testing me in so many good ways. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So many positive and productive ways.
Absolutely.
And that's when I was like, okay, this is what
Yeah, this is what it is.
This is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It ain't something that you can just step into and you say, I'm this. You got to go through it, right? And for me, people always say, like, damn, you got married at 27, which is young nowadays. You know, back in the day when our parents and grandparents was coming up, that shit was old to be getting married. Like, how did you know what you were doing? How did you even know it was the right decision? I didn't. But when I look at it now, I'm so happy I made that right decision because, man, listen, being in my late 30s and having that type of meaning in my life, I'm talking about no matter what I'm going through out in the world, as soon as I come home, my son and daughter, they don't care about none of that. And they giving me that unconditional love, and having a wife who's on the side of my better angels, who wants to see me be the best that I can be and push me in ways that I wouldn't be able to push myself if I was alone.
Absolutely.
So I see the value in it, and I'm going back to when I'm 27 and got married. Like, oh, damn, David, if I could talk to that version of who I was at that time,
absolutely,
I would thank that person for being courageous enough to just step into that. Because I don't think I could get to this level of growth. My maturation process, it wouldn't have been the same. It wouldn't have had the same trajectory had I not been courageous enough to one, get married and commit to one woman and to have kids.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly, bro, it's one step at a time. I think sometimes social media will have you believing that you just kind of start here and it just, you know, you just kind of leapfrog into wherever you're going. Yeah. It's just like everything now. I mean, we can say it with film. Like, I made my first film like 10 years ago, bro.
That's
crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just now, I feel like I'm just now getting credit for being good. And I feel like I've been good for quite long. Like, I feel like I've been good for at least like the last 4 years. But you just
now starting to get credit.
And people now, you know what I'm saying?
And like the 40. Were you shocked when you got news? Wait, what is this? What's the name of it again? I want to get it right. It's
Michigan Chronicle 40 under 40.
God damn. You know how many people live in Michigan and he made the top 40?
Yeah. Yeah, I just found out that I got Crane's Detroit 40 under 42.
Wow.
Which is interesting because that's white folk, so you know.
So you Will Smithing it. You on both sides.
Hey.
You on both sides. Hey, but
I
think, but that's what art is. That's why I had these conversations with you, and I try to make them as open as possible because it's like, you know, the goal is to obviously be able to make honest stuff, right?
Absolutely.
but if people can feel it no matter what color or creed or ethnicity, no matter what gender they are, then that's, I mean, obviously you're not trying to make something but when it comes from an honest place, when it comes from a human place, that's usually what happens. So I'm not shocked by this, by what you're telling me.
Yeah, man, I'm just trying to one step at a time, bro. You know what I'm saying?
This dude modest, man.
It just motivates me to be like, okay, we got to be on our shit even more. Yeah. Like that 40 under 40 shit is cool, but it's just like, okay, I got to send 10 more emails tomorrow.
You know what though? That's kind of how it be, because people. I remember when I did the first podcast episode, and people was like, "Man, you pretty good. You got something." I almost would rather people tell me like, "No, you got a lot more work to do."
Well, you remember I told you when I sent you my script, I was just like, "Bro, Dave, tear that shit apart." I'm not
great segue. This is the giant little steps.
Little feet take giant steps.
Little feet take giant steps, which is inspired by what? Wait, because I remember something. Is it something with Miles Davis? Or?
Yeah, John Coltrane.
John Coltrane. Okay.
Yep. John Coltrane.
All right, got you. Okay, so now here's the thing. Zach sent me the script. First off, I feel honored. I'm like, yo, this dude sending me a script before, he kind of think highly of me to be sending me this. I read it. I ain't about to just be reading no 90, 80 page stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, man, let me just go ahead and start this. I read the first page. Man, I couldn't. And Bridget, she upstairs calling me, hey, you coming up here? I said, I'm almost done. I wasn't almost done. I was reading. I'm talking about, it got to points where I was reading dialogue over and over because it had so much richness and depth to it. Mm-hmm. And man, the script was so phenomenal. And in my mind, I'm like, yo, this shit, I didn't even think you could be or make anything better than Mood.
Yeah.
And this is damn near twice as better. If y'all could imagine that. It's really, really, really good, man. That's what the next project is, right?
Yeah, that's the next project. Yeah. Yeah, we aiming to shoot in October.
Can you tell us a little bit of what it's about?
Yeah, so
also tell us who's gonna be in it, if you can say that.
Yeah. I mean, we got letter of intent signed, so I can say their names now.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Cool. So pretty much Little Feat is about a dude who pretty much has the opportunity, a jazz musician who has the opportunity to work with one of his childhood heroes. Mm-hmm. And he's kind of trying to balance that along with taking care of his daughter while fighting a anxiety and panic disorder.
Wow.
You know,
come from a real place.
Which, again, that wasn't even originally in the script, but, kind of considering what I went through and whatever. Sense. And, my homeboy Ken Nelson, who you was on his podcast, that's another brother of mine. He's like, bro,
shout out to Ken.
Yeah, he's like, you got to put that in there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it worked out. So it's starring Luis Martinez as Lake. That's our main character. His name is Lake. And
he was just in a recent film on Tubi, that Paige.
Yeah,
created.
Paige's movie.
Okay.
Yep. Meeting Boom.
Yep.
So Lakin Mosley. Lakin was my grandfather's name. That's why.
That's a cold name.
Yeah.
Especially if you like the lead of a band.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Just all the ladies be screaming when he come out. Yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, but we got features from we got OG Bobby Johnson, Glenn Plummer.
South Central. Say his name again.
Glenn Plummer.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, come on, man.
Glenn Plummer. We got Sean Nelson. He played Mike in The Wood.
Oh my God! Come on, man! Come on! You keep going, man.
And then we have this young kind of rising actress. Her name is Zani Jones, and she played Taraji's daughter in Hidden Figures.
Wow! Yeah. Yes, I remember her. I saw her picture that you sent me. How some people just look talented.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even have to see what she gonna do. I already know. Yeah.
She's actually doing something in like Costa Rica right now. She's actually working. She's doing something.
Wow.
I probably shouldn't even say that, but yeah, she's doing something.
We can edit that out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she did. She's doing like a bunch of big things for like some major people. So so she's her mom is like pretty much like my aunt. So her mom is a Broadway actress. Wow. She's been a Broadway actress for like 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's where the connection is with that.
Exactly.
Okay. So man, I can't wait because y'all start filming in what, August?
October.
October.
Yep, October.
Okay. All right. Cool, man. If you need somebody to come on set and sweep up,
hey, you come
hit your boy up, man. I'll be sweeping. You just see me sitting over there holding on to the broom handle, just watching. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to seeing where you go. I'm lucky to have you on here because in my opinion, bro, there's nothing stopping you but you. I seriously see you being, and I know you probably don't even care about this, but being at the Oscars, you know, hopefully don't nobody try to come at Kel's incorrect and you had to go on stage like Will Smith and But I see you being there.
That east side will come out of me very quickly.
He got it. This usually, and I could tell, it's usually the calmest people, the nicest people that you do not want to see their bad side. So he kind of has that. It's like when you got people that's real, he's an asshole, but he's a nice asshole. And he hasn't been much of an asshole to me. But after this conversation, if he does become one, I'll understand that that's just a part of his personality and he means well. But either way it goes, he's a nice guy.
So when I say asshole, you would never think I'm an asshole because you okay with people like being straightforward.
Oh, it's like that. It's like honesty. Honesty.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna always keep it a buck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like where some people, especially in our industry in Detroit, where like people lead with their ego, they don't like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't like that. I don't lead with my ego like that. So it's
that's
like,
true. You don't.
You know
No, I can sense that, man. So when you on that stage and you got about 4 minutes to give your speech, I want you to be like, yeah, you know, and I always held myself accountable, but you know, it was just this one cat named Dave.
Exactly.
Who gave me a different meaning to the word accountability.
Man,
you know, I want
you.
you.
No, for real though, man. Like our talks have really, you know, helped in terms of. Even in terms of like what you say, prioritizing the individual over the, you know, over the group and all of that type of shit. Like,
but not getting rid of the group altogether.
No, absolutely. But prioritize. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like all of these things, like those are things that, you know, like I always try to find nuance in everything. You know what I'm saying? And try to find something that I can pull from it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. So, absolutely, bro. Shit, I think we can end right here, bro. We're going to have to do this again.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Zach Cunningham, misFitted.com, ZacharyCunningham.com. Where can they follow you on Instagram?
At z.c.cunningham.
Yeah.
For sure. Or misFitted.work.
I'm going to put both of those up.
For
Just
sure.
that guy right here, man. Zach Cunningham, y'all. Be on the lookout for his next project. Peace.
Peace.